Hey everyone, welcome back. Mike Zero here once again. Today we are discussing Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, in case you guys do want to see future Star Wars content, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. Today we have a excellent guest. He's been on here quite a number of times. We have ChrisCrossMedia. Say hello.
Hey guys, how's it going? I am excited to be here with Mike Zero once again.
Yeah, he has returned. We are actually going into something very, very interesting that we thought was very much worth discussing on the channel.
We were just talking about the Jedi Temple, and we're like, how sad would it be if the Jedi Temple was just those little huts on like the Ireland sets? And then we're thinking, wait a second, there's got to be something more to this island, and kind of had this idea that maybe the temple, the Jedi Temple, is inside the actual island. The island itself is the temple.
That's right.
And that maybe these little huts are doorways or tunnels that would lead into the depths, like caverns or just like tunnelways that will go into what is something that's inside.
When we speak of these these tunnels or these stairways or these paths to the inside portion of the island, the interior of the island, if you look at Star Wars The Force Awakens, I think that a real good way that they could do this on screen is if you look at the stairs that BB-8 is rolling down of Maz Kanata's castle. I could imagine it looking like that, where it kind of slightly makes like a little spiral, and I would love to see that.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah. I can definitely see that. And we talked, a little bit more about how, this is the temple. It must be very, very force-sensitive area. And came up with this concept that we both got kind of giddy and excited about, of maybe there is the door to the Force world, essentially, like where our reality and the Force realm kind of like meets, and there's like this pathway, almost like a dimensional opening.
Exactly.
And maybe the reason why Luke is there is to protect that opening. He's like the gatekeeper, essentially.
Yes.
And he's protecting it from something. We don't. Maybe, is it Snoke? Is it something greater than that? Has something arisen that he must protect it? And that actually does kind of harken back to the whole samurai thing. That's something that samurais did. They would stay in solitude and protect temples and places like that. Which, I mean, people are making the connections with the name, the Last Jedi, the Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai, right. Even Mark Hamill, I think he spoke to the Associated Press, and they questioned him what he thought about the title, and he said, it's very, it's got like this samurai sound to it, and that kind of ties into what we're talking about too, because I think that when you're looking at Luke, a lot of people have been speculating exactly what is he doing here, and Rian Johnson said recently, he spoke with some website, I forgot exactly, I think it was USA Today. Yeah, it was USA Today. He was speaking with them, and they questioned him, about the plot, and he essentially responded that a good portion of this film is going to tell the audience why Luke Skywalker is here and where he's going.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I think it does kind of tie in with our whole idea here.
There's got to be a lot of significance if this takes up a good portion of the film, explaining why he's here. So,
absolutely. And here's another thing, is that when I saw Force Awakens, and there was this whole thing about Luke and how he just left after all the his students were killed by the Knights of Ren and KYLO. I never really bought into the whole idea that Luke just left. He fled and wouldn't tell anybody really where he was going unless there was a very specific reason why, and the place that he was going had some very, very great significance. And it just makes sense to me that the Jedis would build their first temple in a place that was so holy to them. And the door to the Force just seems really cool. And you and I were talking casually the other day on the phone.
Yeah.
That we believe that we're going to learn something about the Force, a little bit more of the mythos behind it in this movie, and just in this new trilogy in general. A little bit more of just like the mythology of it and how it all works.
Yeah, I think that the Force Awakens in itself as a title was kind of like a teaser in a sense, telling us that this trilogy will have to do a lot with the Force, and we're going to learn new things about it, its concept and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And there's rumors, I'm not entirely sure if it's confirmed or not, with Frank Oz reprising his role as Yoda and possibly Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, that actually, I mean, I can't guarantee anything, but that's actually a legitimate leak. That was at Pinewood Studios in the UK. Frank Oz did some line recordings. And I think you heard about this leak, that they had a set for Ahch-To. Ahch-To is the planet that Luke resides on. There was a set piece that was used to accommodate a puppet, so we pretty much do know that Yoda is coming back.
Okay, so perfect. That kind of leads into my next point.
Right.
Is that I feel like a place that is so holy, a place that the Jedi built their first temple upon, it just makes sense that it would be easier for Force ghosts or any apparitions of past Jedi would easily be able to manifest and speak to Luke there. So seeing Yoda, seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi, heck, even seeing like Anakin Skywalker, which is something that you and I have talked about
in our last video
over and over and over again. Yes, I want to see Hayden Christensen as a Vader transforming Anakin ghost thing. I want that in a movie so bad. I don't know why. I do. I have a secret love for the prequels.
Shape-shifting Force ghost.
There you go. So I don't think that we've seen everything we know about this island, Ahch-To. And I remember, I'm going to bring this up because I am a fan of yours, Mike.
Yeah, bring it up.
And there was a video that you did where you're talking about, Mark Hamill made a comment that there was going to be this huge stunt or something with the Force that's supposed to be really big and has to do with during a scene or something like that in the island. He did some sort of acrobats or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. You made some video on it. And imagine if, maybe it seems like a stretch, but imagine if the actual island itself lifts off the ocean and it's actually like there's a ship or something that the island is covering.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring up a movie that I think a lot of people will roll their eyes when I mention it, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones, how they built a temple over the flying saucer.
That's right. Interesting.
And at the end, when the saucer lifted off the ground, the temple and the surrounding area like crumbled and disappeared because the water covered it. Just imagine that maybe there is something that this island is covering, whether that be a temple, whether that be a ship, whether that be a weapon, perhaps. I don't know. But I feel like there's something in there. That's all I'm going to say.
It's funny because, we did hear about that with Mark Hamill. He stood there. He had nothing to do. He couldn't do anything. He just had to stand there and do nothing. And he explained, it's going to... It basically involved elaborate special effects. So we do know
that's what it was.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that you mentioned the kingdom. What was it? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Right.
Which I secretly love that movie.
Right.
Yes.
I was also thinking about GoldenEye 007 at the very end. You ever see that film where essentially Bond and Natalia are coming in on a plane over this body of water, and they don't see anything, and he's like, maybe, you know, Wade was right, there is no dish, the water drains, and it's a base. So I could see something like that happening in Episode 8, The Last Jedi, with the island hiding what could be inside of it. If it were to lift up by Luke himself, that would be that would be impressive. Let me tell you.
It'd be, I mean, yeah, that Yoda lifting the X-wing has nothing on Luke lifting a friggin' island. You know what I mean? That would be intense. Or maybe the island submerges. Maybe it goes underwater.
Interesting.
Who knows? Yeah, it can go up. It can go down. Maybe the temple is under the water. I don't know. At this point, anything's possible, right? So we'll go with that for now.
Keep in mind
I honestly,
there has been no official word that this location is the first Jedi temple. It's a huge assumption.
True. Right. It is an assumption. And yeah, that was just like that was just a line that Han Solo said. He's like, I think this is where he went to go look.
Right. So when we found Luke at the end of the film,
what if he hasn't found it yet?
What's that?
What if Luke hasn't even found it yet?
That's what I was thinking. I think that the very end of The Force Awakens, I think, made us assume, okay, Luke's here. There are ancient-looking huts. This must be it. The first Jedi Temple. The first. It looks ancient. It's the first Jedi Temple. So I think that's why there's a wide assumption there. And it could be the case. It probably is the case that this is the first Jedi Temple. However, I think that what we're seeing is not essentially it. I think that there could be something in the island itself, like we are going over now. So.
Right. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I'm so excited to see The Last Jedi. December can't come here fast enough, let me tell you.
Yeah, we're like, what now, 11 months out? Yeah. Yeah, we got a ways to go, but it's going to come before you know it.
We do.
So, yeah, everybody, let us know in the comments section what you think about this concept, this theory that me and Chris were going over. Do you think this is possible? Is there a great chance of this happening, or is this a stretch in your eyes? Let us know. And also, go ahead and check out ChrisCrossMedia. His channel will be linked below in the description. I'm sure you'll enjoy his Scrapped series. It's really good stuff. Check it out.
Oh, thanks.
And yeah, that's all I think we have, right? I think so.
Yeah, that's just about it. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble, and Mike, thanks again for having me, man.
Absolutely, anytime. Have a good one, guys.
Peace out, guys.